I'm wearing a continuous glucose monitor, and I wore it for the last week when I was eating like shit or whatever.
Right.
So I was just to see like how my sugar reacts to like the way I eat normally, because it's like jumping up and down. It's not working right. Weird. I finger sticked myself to be sure that I wasn't like dying when I got home from work, and it's fine. So it's like right now it's like 20 under. It's like it's being weird, and it keeps disconnecting from the sensor and saying that there's an error, and then now the alarm's going off, and you can't turn off the alarm. And I'm gonna rip this. I might rip this off on the podcast, honestly.
Indianapolis, Shawn, Dick and Cheese.
Welcome back, Stamp Tramps, to Attempted Delivery. We have a very, very exciting episode. We are back together.
Indeed.
We do not have a guest this week.
Yeah, I know, all these guests getting in the way.
Yeah. Doing our job for us. Making it very easy to have content.
Indeed.
Speaking of content, if anybody needs legal advice in any way, shape, or form, Casey Anthony is now on Substack, and she is a legal advocate. I'm not sure what that means.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you need... I've nothing for this. It's just very funny. You'd think...
So if I happen to very poorly cover up my daughter's murder...
Yes, exactly.
She could maybe walk me through some...
I suppose. Allegedly. Allegedly. That didn't happen. Did you ever see the documentary about her?
I think so. I've seen multiple things.
Yeah, no, I never have. I was just curious because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know nothing. It just seems like she definitely did it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked that way. It really didn't look good.
No, it didn't. But you think if you were in that situation, you would stay as far away from the public eye as possible.
Right.
Yeah, she's on TikTok.
I mean, then again, like OJ was on Twitter and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I don't know why you drew that connection. I don't know. Just two innocent people enjoying social media. I don't know why OJ popped in your head. That's weird. No, she put up a thing on like TikTok that just had this whole like I don't know, just like a video of her talking about how she's been in like legal system for like since 2011. I don't know.
Right.
There's really not any information on it. It's too early to tell, but I just saw that today and thought it was hilarious.
Didn't go through any education, just went by experience, I guess. Like,
yeah, I guess
just
so.
learned on the job.
How did that, was it just lack of evidence? There just wasn't quite enough? Like too much reasonable doubt?
I think that's it. Like, all the defense doesn't have to prove anything. They just have to introduce reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Was there a jury for all that?
I'm sure there was.
I guess. I don't know how that stuff works. Because isn't there not always a jury? Isn't there sometimes there's not a jury for certain crimes?
Sometimes, but we'd probably have to ask Karen K about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the burden of proof is on the prosecution.
For sure.
All the defense has to do is bring up reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And they
enough to convince the jury that, like, I can't be sure. You know?
Right.
Like, maybe a glove doesn't fit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that tracks.
Or that wasn't my daughter duct taped in the trunk or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I forget. She waited like 30 days to call 911, I think.
She waited some time. She was out partying. I don't remember all the details, but I think like there was speculation that maybe the dad like helped kind of cover it up a little bit. There was speculation that it was him. There's all the speculation. You know what I mean?
Adrian Palucci girl, she just had a Netflix special a little while ago. She has a joke about that. It's like I can never be sure. She's like, how does she date again? You know what I mean? If you date her, you're like, any guy that dates her has to be like, Oh man, like or any if she dates any guy, she's got to be self-conscious. Like, oh man, does he really like me, or does he just want my help with his daughter? Like, how am I supposed to know if he loves me for me? Like, it's a hilarious joke. But yeah, that's all I had on that. I wish I had more jokes, more fun about that.
Well, I might have to hire Karen or get a lawyer. It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned. Did you ever? It's a movie, so I don't know. Did you ever see? I think it was Lethal Weapon 4, the one with Chris Rock and Joe Pesci.
I don't remember it. There was 4. I probably haven't seen that many.
There was a simple scene that a lot of people quote. You always get fucked at the drive-thru. They fuck you at the drive-thru.
I know that quote.
Yeah, that's they fuck you at the drive-thru. Well, I got fucked at the drive-thru car wash. So. Yeah, we may have to enlist our lawyers. They've been on hiatus for a while.
Yeah.
So the other day,
for failing to defend us from Paramount.
So I went to, it's like a Mr. Car Wash or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's one where you can pull up, you can just sit and drive through, or you can have them like do like the detailing and stuff. I need to do that. It's just been a while. I wanted to get the salt out the car and the inside, just wanted to get vacuumed and all that. So I go through, I get like the most expensive. I was like, just do everything that you do, all of the things. And so it goes through relatively quickly, and I hop in the car and I go to leave. Actually, I grabbed something from the back. There was like just like some shopping bags that they vacuumed around. They didn't even just like lift it up and like vacuum. Like, what am I supposed to hold all this stuff while you
Well, that might be like illegal. That might be a thing that they do because of assholes. You know what I mean?
But it would be like if I paid you $50 to dust my coffee table, and there was a magazine on the coffee table, you just dust it around it.
Yeah.
Like that was like the equivalent. Like all you had to do was just scoot something to the side and vacuum.
Yeah.
But that's besides the case. Anyway, I get back in and start turning out of the parking lot, and I notice like the door ajar thing is lit. It has like the little picture of the car, and the door's open. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I didn't close the door, so I open it and shut it, and it's still on. And I do it again, shut it. So I pull over, and I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Obviously something just happened with the car wash because it worked perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I just go back there, and I'm like, I'm an idiot when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe there was some sensor that they bumped or something. Yeah. Maybe something is wet, and then when it dries, it'll work. I mean, I don't fucking know.
Did you try the other doors?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the other doors were fine.
Yeah.
Because it shows you which door is open. There's like a little picture of a car, and then like whatever door is open.
I see what you're saying. All right. Yeah.
It'll do the same thing if the tire's going. It'll show like which tire's going down. So I was right around the corner, so I pulled just right back in, and the girl comes over, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up. Like, well, first off, they didn't fully vacuum in the back, and like being that I paid $50, like I don't mean to be petty, but you know what I mean, just can you vacuum the rest of that shit? But also this sensor, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something that can, maybe it's just a reset. Sometimes you put air in your tires and that light doesn't go off, and you have to do a reset. Like, I don't fucking know anything about cars. So anyway, finally this other dude comes over, and he was like, well, yeah, we don't do anything with that. We just like wipe the inside of this frame. That seems like internal in the door. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but it didn't happen until I literally just came through the car wash 10 minutes ago. It's not like I came back a week later.
I wonder if it was something from the car wash.
Well, we're almost there. We'll get there. And he was just like, yeah, I don't know. And we just stood there in a stalemate. I was like, yeah, me neither. I was like, I looked in the manual for something that might say like maybe push this switch or push this button, like reset or whatever. Couldn't find anything. And then he was like, well, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, well, if I like take this to a shop and they're like, it's $200, like, what are we? He was like, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm not trying to get over on anybody. Yeah. I drove in here 10 minutes ago, and this was working perfectly fine, and then I left, and it was no longer working. So obviously something happened. I'm not saying anybody did anything malicious. It could have been an accident. Yeah. But somehow it's, you know what I mean? I feel that you're at least partially responsible. I was like, that would be a wild coincidence if literally I just left the car wash, especially when he said we wiped the inside of the frame, which will come into play in a moment. So finally, they have me come. He was like, we could do like a damage claim or whatever. And I was like, yeah, let's do that, just so it's documented at least.
Yeah.
That I came back like
right away,
minutes. It wasn't a week later. You know, what I mean, I would say bullshit if I came back a week later.
Yeah.
So they had me pull around, and then this assistant manager lady comes out, and she's like immediately trying to like squash it and not take any blame whatsoever. And was like, well, yeah, like we don't do anything with that. And I'm like, the guy literally just told me you wipe around the inside, and she showed me where the sensor was. It's on the inside of the door frame, so when the door touches it makes contact. And it was kind of like loose. And she checked the other ones, and they were pretty tight. And I was like, well, yeah, the guy told me that they wiped, so maybe he just bumped it. I'm not saying anybody did anything malicious, but they still did it. And it was working perfectly fine. She was like, well, I've been doing this like 10 years, and I've never seen that. I was like, well, this car has been a car for 14 years, and it worked perfectly fine until 5 minutes ago when I drove through your car wash. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I can tell you, I'll submit it, but we usually deny, like, so she was already sending up. She's like, we usually deny this kind of thing because like it's an older car and like these things. And I was like, it literally just happened. Like, that would be a wild coincidence. So she's like, she took all the info, got my email address, said you'll get an email in 3 or 4 days with our decision or whatever. But she was basically already telling me that she was. I was like, well, who makes the decision? Is it you? Because you're basically telling me that. So I don't know what my recourse is beyond that. I mean, like,
you might be fucked at the car wash.
I think I got fucked at the car wash, like, and not in a good way. I mean, at the very least, I feel like I should get that $50 like refunded.
Give me a gift card so I can get the next time free.
I'm definitely never going there again. But like, I know I rant and rave and all that kind of shit, but like, I might just like blast them on social media or something, like, just because just the fact that like to be that petty, like, I don't feel like I'm trying to be petty. Like, it's a pain in the ass. I have to keep the lights like off, like even when the door's open.
Because it'll just stay on.
Because it thinks the door is open, it'll just stay on. So it's like, and my key fob no longer works because it thinks it's already open.
So it won't like.
So I have to manually lock it inside, which isn't a big deal, but like.
Well, it's a pain in the ass.
All these things are not a big deal. But why should I have to deal with it when it was working perfectly fine? If I had not gone through their car wash, my car would still be working perfectly fine. So, like, I feel like they could do something.
Especially because it's a chain. It's not like a mom and pop fucking.
Right.
I'm assuming because there are none. I think
so. Right. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what recourse I would have beyond that. So if they send me an email and they're like, "Fuck you," what do I? Why wouldn't they do that? If there's no recourse beyond that.
Well, exactly.
So, I don't know what to do about that, but I guess I'll report back next week after I get this email. And I may or may not have burned down a car wash.
Well, and you're gonna have to do something pretty serious to get Karen to defend you because she's a public defender. So.
True.
And you have to do it in her district or wherever.
Yeah, I guess. I guess our lawyers will have to tackle that.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And I don't even know how the hell. I mean, because I can't imagine they were that thorough that they. I mean, how would they even hit something?
Well,
like
I mean, as a testament to the level of their quality of work, they didn't fully vacuum the shit in the back. They didn't do a great job in the rest of the car either. I mean, the outside looked fine, but the machines and shit do that. They just like detail the inside. But the guy literally said, "Oh, we just wiped this frame. Where that sensor just happens to be right in the middle and is now a little messed up." I don't know. Very, very frustrating. I'm actually kind of calm about it. I think in past I might have been more. I think I'm getting better with my anger. I don't know.
It seems like it.
I mean, yesterday didn't really work as far as my anger. I don't know if I can really talk too much about that.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, yesterday was interesting to say the least at work. But anyway, Yeah, that's all I got for that. It's just getting fucked at the car wash.
Hell yeah.
The drive-through car wash.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of getting fucked by a deer.
Oh,
we both got fucked by a deer.
Right.
Fucking
What else you got going on this week?
Not much. I literally not much. I'm fasting right now.
Right.
So I haven't eaten since Saturday night. And this is Wednesday. So tomorrow I'm gonna do 5 days. So
you've had like nothing but water, basically?
Nothing but water.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Since when?
Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm at like, I don't know.
Are you dying? Like,
feels like it.
Do you have like any energy or like, I mean?
I have less energy for sure. I have less energy. Yeah. That's mostly, it's not as.
It's a long time. Like, to fast,
it is.
Isn't it?
I don't know what traditionally it's like 3 to I forget how long people have done it in the past because they've been doing it for like thousands of years or whatever. Right. But yeah,
some people involuntarily.
Yeah, honestly, not that bad. Don't know what you're bitching about. I'm just satire. But
yeah, you get your own kitchens. Like what the fuck? Sorry,
but no, yeah, it's been. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday wasn't too bad. Mm-hmm. It probably didn't help that I went hard as fuck on Saturday. Like I had like breakfast, I had like an omelet and shit, and then like Saturday for lunch, I got a gift card.
Did you have like your prison last meal? Like
yes,
I'm gonna eat
very much. I went to McDonald's for lunch.
Oh wow!
And fucking had McDonald's. I meant to use that because I had a gift card for like over Christmas, one of my customers, and I meant to use all of it. And I fucking didn't use all of it, so now I'm like, damn, I gotta go back now. But it's like $4 left on that thing.
Nice.
But by the way, McDonald's has gotten expensive.
Indeed.
It used to be cheap as shit. It's like
everything's expensive now.
Yeah, it was like over $10 for 2 McDoubles and a large fry. Mm-hmm. Sorry, double cheeseburgers. They're not called McDoubles anymore. Maybe that's why they added all those syllables and now it's fucking
McDoubled the price.
Yeah, McDoubled the price. It's but yeah, I was like, damn, that's a lot. Like that's way more of it. I feel like that used to be like $4.
Oh yeah.
For those 3 items. I don't know. But
back in my day, a cheeseburger was 69 cents or something like that.
Was it really at some point?
I think so.
Oh wait, they were cheap.
Yeah.
I usually remember them mostly around $1, but
right.
But they were 99 cents at least. But yeah, I don't even know how much they are now because I wasn't paying attention. But
right.
So I had McDonald's for lunch because I'm like, fucking, I'm about to go clean as shit. So, and then for dinner,
let me dirty it up before my cleanse.
Exactly. And then for dinner, I got home. I ended up I was like working late, and I got home. It wasn't that late, but I got home, and Lori was babysitting, so she wasn't home. And I'm like, fuck it. And I was like, it's dumb because I could have went somewhere. I just was like, I'll stay here with Ollie or whatever, and ordered DoorDash.
Nice.
And it took forever, but it wasn't like I got fast food. It was like something that took anyway, long story short, I saw him waiting for the food and it was taking forever for them to make it. And then I saw him like not there and like somewhere else. I'm like, oh shit, he had more than one order. I felt like a dick because he probably like was making their order was probably cold by the time they got it.
Right.
And then, so I ended up tipping him like cash when he got there. Cause I'm like, man, I'm sorry that took literally forever.
Right.
He was like, I never had messages between DoorDashers.
Right. Yeah,
they can message. He like messaged. He's like, dude, I'm really sorry. I've been here for like a half hour. I'm like, yeah, I see you. I'm sorry. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And, but I had like a whole pizza and a quesadilla.
Nice.
And a side of guacamole. So I'm like, fuck it. I went hard as shit. That it was, yeah. So yeah, I can finally eat tomorrow and I can't fucking wait.
Nice. I bet.
Yeah, you're supposed to eat like a light-ish meal. So we're going to have like, Lori's doing it too. And we're going to have like omelets. And it's going to be the best omelet I've ever had. I can't wait. But yeah, I went hard for my last meal. And then... Nice. Yeah, and had like half a bottle of wine. Yeah, so now I'm sober and fucking gonna be keto for a month. But yeah, Sunday wasn't that bad because it was just like fresh or whatever. But
and
then
you still had a pizza in you.
Exactly. Yeah, it probably still had shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually probably most of it. But then, Monday was rough.
Right.
I just felt like achy and just tired as shit. And then it didn't help that I ended up working till like 7 at night. So like that doesn't help anything either, but it might help me keep my mind off of it. That might be actually a benefit to working. But yesterday was not great. Today was actually all right. I kind of felt like good. I kept reading stuff about how people say they like have like they're like full of energy after 3 days and like love it. And I'm like, no, not there. I'm not there yet. Apparently, this is day 4 and I'm not.
Right.
There's no. I'm tired. It's not good. I mean, I don't feel bad anymore, like really bad, but like I definitely don't have. I'm not like fucking bursting with energy.
Right.
Yeah, when I was, what were you gonna say?
You can finish it.
Well, when I was like researching it, I was like looking at all of like it's like a breakdown by fast, like by hour or whatever. This is just one of the things I like pulled up, but it's just like apparently you start producing stem cells or something. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be an abortion. This is sick. But yeah, 72 hours or whatever.
Huh.
So yeah, tomorrow will be 5 days, like 96 hours. I'm not going to go longer than that. I don't see any reason.
Right.
Because it seems like most of the benefits kick in at like 72 hours. Right. So it's like, all right, fuck, I'll do 5 days.
Doesn't it slow your metabolism down?
Supposedly, yeah.
But
yeah, there's a ton of things apparently that it does. But yeah, I think that's one of the things.
But don't you not want your metabolism to slow down?
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor or dietitian. So.
Well, no, you're right. That would be what you.
But maybe there is some benefit to that. I don't know.
I guess it has to slow down while you're doing it. So
right.
That's probably one of the reasons.
Then I thought once you start eating again, we process that slower.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you're not eating keto, maybe not. Or I mean, maybe if you are eating keto,
I don't
maybe
know.
it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. Well, you're fasting and I'm slowing. I think.
There's a ton of there's like a lot of benefits apparently, but yeah, it was just something I was like, well, let me do I'll do this just because I'm gonna go keto for a month anyway, or at least I'm at least gonna start keto. After doing this, it's funny because you'd think I would be like I was like so ready to like dry out and just clean up for a month. And then as soon as I start doing it, I'm like, I fucking want pizza so much right now. It's incredible. It's like, I want like donuts. I don't even eat donuts normally. I'm like, I want all of the horrible things.
Yeah, I checked out a new sushi place the other day and it was pretty good. And I was like, I sent you a message like, when you come off keto, this is pretty good. But
yeah, I will. 28 days from now. No, it'll be like, I usually do like 28 days or whatever. So 20 days or something like, I don't know. I can't do math. I'm dying. My body's eating myself. So
I'm slowing. The other day I ended up staying up till like 3 a.m. cooking. I mean, I started late. So my dad in a couple weeks is going to have like something done to his shoulder and is going to have his arm in a sling. So I wanted to make a pan of moussaka for him. It's a Greek dish, if you don't know. It's just like a layered dish, kind of a casserole kind of thing. And my grandfather passed a couple weeks ago, and so I wanted to make a pan for my grandmother. I mostly wanted to do it for her because she always says that's like one of her favorite things. And it's funny because she's not on the Greek side of the family.
That's hilarious, yeah.
But
you get accustomed to his stuff.
Right.
She appreciates it more than you guys do.
Right. So I made that, and then I made one for us. I was actually going to make a 4th pan for you guys, but I messaged Lori and said, hey, is this keto? It's got potatoes and a little bit of red wine. And she's like, unfortunately, no. So,
God damn it. So, I forgot about that. So I thought it was going to go off again. It is. That actually worked really well sitting on my phone.
Will it not silence with the silent?
There's
button?
Okay, so it's going to do it again.
Or it's an alert, so it's...
Well, it's like I'm wearing a continuous glucose monitor, and I wore it for the last week when I was eating like shit or whatever.
Right.
So I was just to see like how my sugar reacts to like the way I eat normally. And I'm gonna rip this. I might rip this off on the podcast, honestly, because I've been just checking my sugar and stuff. So whatever today I get home from work and the alarm starts going off. You can turn off all of the alarms, but there's a low sugar alert that is
Which
like,
being that you haven't had anything.
yeah, but the thing
is
is it's wrong. It's not, there's something wrong with the connection or like the monitor itself, because it's like jumping up and down. It's not working right. Weird. I finger sticked myself to be sure that I wasn't like dying when I got home from work, and it's fine. So it's like, right now it's like 20 under. It's like, it's being weird, and it keeps disconnecting from the sensor and saying that there's an error. And then now the alarm's going off, and you can't turn off the alarm because that's like a FDA thing, because it's technically, it's like health,
like a safety
and,
kind
yeah,
of thing. Right.
Even, and literally the first 2 nights, there's different low alarms. There's a low alarm for like 60, like when your sugar's down to 60, and for normal people that's not a problem. Like you're not like, that's only really a problem for diabetics if their sugar gets down. Normally your sugar does go low when you sleep. And it went off both the first 2 nights. It fucking went off at like 2 a.m. I'm like, dude, this is hell. What the fuck? And so I turned off all the alarms, but there's one that you can't turn off, and it's like the critically low alarm. And that's what's going off.
It's like, eat a pizza.
Yeah, yeah. Sunny D, get Sunny D. Like fucking, my dad has low sugar sometimes, and he would always drink like orange juice.
Right on.
But yeah, it's so annoying. I might literally have to, if I want to sleep tonight,
Right,
I'm gonna have to. And it's like acting up. It's like not correct.
You know, if anyone would guess who on this podcast would potentially A, keel over during the podcast, or B, have an alarm to set for food, I don't think anybody would guess you.
Yeah, it says I'm 53, and it's not like, there's no way I'm at 53. Now I'm like paranoid because of this fucking thing. So now when I get home, I'm probably going to check it again, do another finger stick. And as long as it's fine, I'm just going to take this off.
I keep wanting to make a joke about finger stick, but I just keep leaving it alone.
Should I say it one more time and then you'll make the joke?
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Hopefully that does not do that again.
It's all good. But yeah, I ended up, I started late, so I took a nap with the kid and like got up, and then it was around 8:30, and I was like, this will probably take a few hours.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was going to take a few hours. You bake like the potatoes, eggplant, and make like a meat sauce, and then make a bechamel, and then you assemble it, and then you have to bake it again. I didn't do that second bake.
Yeah,
I just baked all this stuff and assembled 3 pans of it. But do you ever like grossly underestimate how much work something's going to be, and then you get into it and you're like, God damn it, but I'm committed now.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was starting at 8:30, and it was like peeling 6 pounds of potatoes and cutting those up, fucking cutting up like 3 pounds of onions.
Oh
like
yeah, that was
10 eggplants, like just cutting those up. It was just like all the prep work.
You say you started at what time?
Like 8:30.
Oh wow, yeah, that's.
And I thought, late. You know, even if this goes till like midnight, that's cool. I'm usually up late anyway, but like it just kept getting. I was like, oh my God.
That sucks.
But I got it all done, so I was pretty proud of that, and it turned out pretty good. But yeah, that was just not I grossly underestimated the amount of work that was going to go into that.
Yeah, I do that every time, or not every time, but I've gotten better at it. But like when I want to do stuff in like the yard or whatever, like if I want to like build something or do something, I'm like, I need to start first thing in the morning.
Right.
Every time I like try to dick around and like wait until like mid morning or afternoon, it's like I always run out of time. It's just not worth it.
Right.
And then same thing with cooking. I don't cook as often as I'd like to. So when I cook something, it takes me like significantly longer than it does, like for Lori or whatever. Right. So yeah, no, I definitely
I'm super
feel
anal
your
with
pain.
like the chopping and the prep.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that takes me way longer than a normal person would.
Yeah.
So the kid is like kind of walking now.
Yeah.
Which is scary because now we have to like really watch her if she's not like in her little fortress. She's not like fully walking, but she can take like a lot more steps before plopping down on her butt. She's saying a lot more crazy words and stuff. Like it's wild. Like I always thought like kids were like pretty much like useless until they were like 3.
Yeah.
But she's like just a little over 1. So I don't know if like my kid's just a goddamn genius or this is what kids do and I'm just dumb and just no experience, you know what I mean?
Well, that's good. It's good that you don't have experience. You didn't have any kids, so that's
right.
It'd be weirder if you knew exactly what kid.
Oh yeah, this is what they do at this age. But like little things that like I'm like, oh wow, she can process and remember things that I like I said, I didn't think she would do until like 3 or something. So like she has all like a million books. There's like a nursery rhyme book with like the Itsy Bitsy Spider, blah blah blah, and like 5 or 6 pages in, there's like the this little piggy went to market kind of thing. So I've been doing that with her and playing with her toes and that kind of thing. And then every once in a while she'll like go grab that book, open to that page specifically, and then just like wiggle her toes.
That's awesome.
I'm like, wow, like
yeah, that's incredible.
That's wild. Like she like makes connections that I didn't think were possible that young. But I mean, I guess I'm just learning that that's
yeah.
But yeah, I thought kids were useless until they were about 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She's
honestly, so did I. So that's fair.
She's becoming like a little person with a personality. She's hilarious, and her comedic timing is way better than mine, which is annoying. She has this music book that just goes through instruments and like, this instrument makes this sound, like little fun facts.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, now we're ready to make some music. What instrument will you try first? So I said that. I was like, what instrument will you try first? On the beat, she fucking tooted. I was like, all right, butt trumpet. I guess that's but it was like so perfect timing. Yeah, I know farts are like silly, but it was like just the perfectly timed, like she answered the question with it. Like, but it's really cool. It's fun trying to get her to try new foods and stuff like that, and seeing what she'll eat and what she doesn't. Sometimes that's frustrating, but
I'm sure.
Just being like a little person, it's crazy. And now we like really have to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Watch her and start doing a lot more of the child proofing and stuff. Like we already have the things in the outlets and stuff like that. But yeah.
Damn, yeah. Speaking of the outlets, last week at Phantom Power, I almost fucking I almost like shocked myself plugging in the sign.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so like there's these little like clips that like hang, the wire hangs in, and it clips like to the drop ceiling tiles. So it's just like kind of like a claw or whatever, almost like a safety pin or something. I don't know how to describe it, but and you just like put them up there. And while I was trying to put the sign, I was putting not the sign, the spotlight. There's a spotlight for the front room, and I was trying to hang that, and this like clip like slid, and it's metal, and it slid to the end of the wire. I didn't even think anything of it, and then when I went to like do something with that, it got in between the plug and the extension cord.
Ooh,
and it fucking sparked and shit. I'm like, holy shit, I've never even like done that before. Yeah, that's funny you said that, because I probably would have forgot about that. Probably because I got shocked. I probably lost memory. But yeah, that was gnarly. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I never thought that would happen. I don't know. I mean, I never played with electrical sockets, so I guess I never.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I essentially stuck metal into an electric socket.
Yeah. sounds like it.
A lot of sparks that happens. for those at home who don't know.
I have not done anything comedy wise since the roast. Do you have any shows or anything, or
no? Just a couple open mics.
Right on.
The only show I had in March got canceled for reasons we're probably not going to bring up on the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we can say, I think they're trying to work something out. So there was a particular venue where this show was going to be, and something came out about one of the owners, but apparently there's partners or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know there was more owners.
Yeah, so people were canceling the shows, and like, because some pretty bad allegations came out. I'm not going to say specific about anything, but then I did see a post from that guy saying he was denying the allegations, but he was saying, I don't want to ruin like what was built or whatever. I'm going to step away or see if I can like sell the other people my share, or just back out of it to try to keep that place alive, because it was a shame, because it was really cool venue for music, and was starting to become one for comedy. But yeah, so I mean, hopefully that still ends up working out in the long run.
Yeah.
To where it can still be a possibility, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's coming up. I don't think it'd be 2 weeks away. If it would be.
I don't mean for that.
No, for that show, but hopefully they sell it and it's not a problem. Yeah, hopefully, because it's nothing. There's not a lot like that in York anyway.
Right.
You don't need less of it.
Right.
Yeah, for whatever reason, there's not. I mean, I guess it's just not the biggest city, so it's hard to sustain shit like that. Even in Lancaster, it's hard to sustain stuff. I mean, there used to be a comedy club in Lancaster, and that wasn't even sustainable.
Right.
So I think it was a Stitches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that's like a chain. There's like Stitches all over the place. Yeah, I think Stitches all over the place. But yeah, so that's a shame. But yeah, other than almost killing myself at the open mic, I haven't really done much. I couldn't make it this Monday because I ended up working till after 7:00.
Really?
But yeah, last Sunday was fun. I was like, kind of didn't have much I wanted to work. I didn't know like what I wanted to work on, so I just kind of had like a lot of new jokes.
Sunday or Monday?
Monday.
Monday.
Is that what I said? Did I say Sunday?
You said Sunday.
I'm dying. So
that's all good.
My body's eating itself right now. So, those ketones. But what's it called? I was just trying. There was a couple jokes I tried to like rework that never worked. Like I have this joke about like Yellowstone. I like at this point, it's like not even the same joke. It's like I've just cut everything out of the joke. It's like a completely different topic and joke now. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel great about any of the stuff. I mean, it was a weird night anyway, because I mean, some of the stuff I did work. I mean, it was weird. I should have listened to it since it's been 2 weeks. But I did have this joke I wanted to work out, and I don't even think it's a joke. I don't think it's like that funny. So I'm probably not even. I might try to do it again, but it's like it's about apparently Ohio Democrats introduced a bill to actually fine men for like ejaculating without the intent to have a baby.
Oh, right.
And it was I don't know if you saw that headline
it's
at all.
a troll.
Yeah. But yeah. It's
Yeah.
basically they know the bill's not going to pass, but it's kind of like to make a statement for like if you're going to fine women if you're not going to let women have abortions, then you should
hold them to the same standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I just think that's hilarious. I think it'd be funnier if it did pass. Like as if jerking off isn't sad enough. You got to worry about people like breaking down your door. Like freeze. That tissue's evidence. Fucking, I don't know. It's just hilarious. Or like it's also terrifying that like a woman can just be like, listen, if you don't make me come, I'm calling the cops. Like you're gonna be under arrest. But I kind of think it's like kind of funny, but I'm like, I don't think.
Right.
I don't know if
you get red flagged if you start like buying lube or lotion or some shit like.
That's funny too. Yeah, they get your data. If you're on porn websites, they just come make a house call. You're not wasting your seed, are you?
Right. I think I brought up a joke before this. I was like, is this anything? I don't know. It's kind of dumb. But like, yeah, I'm super old, and now I like watch porn. I see the money shot, and I'm like, man, that guy needs to drink water.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know if that's like good enough for the stage, or if that's just like a dumb.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. With
it's kind of dumb.
Like that, yeah. I mean, I feel like that the Ohio thing. It's just dumb. I mean, I don't know. It's stupid.
And I'm not above doing dumb jokes, but sometimes I'm like, even that feels cheap for me. I don't know.
Yeah, this might have worked in the 80s. I don't think it's gonna work now.
Right. Well, I might do another roast. The date might not work out. But if I do it, I'll give you. I'm not gonna like say anything about it now. But like, I was like not feeling going to the one last Sunday. But then like once I got into it, I was like, I think this combines two of my favorite pastimes, which is writing jokes and being an asshole.
Yeah.
So I was like, why wouldn't I do this more? You know, even just for like the exercise of joke writing. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know if the date's going to work out, but that's a possibility. Nice. But speaking of the 80s, I've been diving back a little more into Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've sought out any of his stuff or watched any of his old specials.
I think I've seen two of his specials. Does he only have two specials?
He didn't have many, and a lot of the material was the same because it was like the late 80s, early 90s where like you had an act and you could travel with that for like a long ass time, rather than the hour every new hour every year.
And I think I think I've watched or listened to two of them. and they weren't exactly the same, but there were repeating jokes. Yeah,
a couple of bits that were saying they were on Netflix, and there was a good documentary. I don't know if they're still on there.
I think that's where I must have seen it.
Yeah, I think there was a documentary on him too. But I've been diving into him, and like, I think that's what I've been trying to approach a lot. Like, I've asked a lot of guests about like that whole like comedy is like art versus entertainment, like, and the spectrum of that. He, I think, would label himself like as more of like an artist, like trying to get people to think and think differently and stuff like that. But join this Facebook group. It's like Bill Hicks forever, and like every day there's like a quote, and some of them just like kind of hit right. And I know that by today's standards, some of his material would probably not get like canceled, whatever, but like he might not do it, or it would be frowned upon. But the standards were different then. Things like the F slur, like, but the context he was, you know what I mean? It's but just using certain words and that kind of thing. And I don't remember, I don't know if it was Debbie Gibson, but there was some young female artist that he talked about doing horrific things to. There's a famous clip of him like going off on a heckler, calling a lady, "See you in Toledo." Like, but overall, like some of the material is like artistic, like it's funny, but it was I don't know. This is I don't even know what I'm trying to ask, really. Because I don't know if it's two different schools of thought, or if everyone does some kind of balance of this. Some people literally just do jokes. There's the is it funny? I'm not finding myself. I'm not trying to give insight or change your view or give a different perspective on things. I'm just literally trying to make this funny connection. And I think there's value in that and that kind of thing. And then if you go too far in the other direction, or you preachy, you know what I mean?
Like Lake Carlin or whatever. Like,
right.
Or and Bill Hicks is an even better example.
Right. Like he, one of his quotes was like, "I would rather have one mind in the audience than 200 asses in the seats." You know, I'd rather have one mind in the seat. And I know a lot of the bigger comedy culture, like with the big names, like it's a lot about just like sales. You know what I mean? It's like whatever will sell more, but like, but then different people will do different things and be able to sell doing either. So I'm not trying to find out like, is there one better than the other, or I don't think that's a thing. It's just people will gravitate to one or the other. Some people don't want to think. Some people just want to laugh at silly stuff. Some people like their brain to be engaged in a different way. Like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. That's funny, but that also makes me think about this different. And so I guess I'm bringing this up, or I'm diving in, like thinking about this, like as we like talk about finding our voice. I feel so fucking corny saying that, but like it's part of the process, and like trying to figure out where I am on any side of that, whether or not I would even want to, like with music, I always thought like I could like change the world, and then you know, but that was like, I always thought like, I could like speak to these things, and like the difference between like that late 60s music movements, like the peace and like that kind of thing versus wet ass pussy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you just,
there's a deep meaning to that song?
how deep?
Don't know.
So that's what, you know what I mean? There's merit to everything. There's merit to just dance music. And then there's merit to music that like does try to change the world, or can change the world and change people. And I'm trying to find that in comedy and figure out like where the line is and if I want to do anything specifically, or I don't know, because I feel like I did try to write some jokes about stuff like that. Like I had the Roe v. Wade one, like which I haven't done in forever. I'd have to rework it because now that the kid is born. So, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. Say something. What do you think about all this?
I don't know.
I've rambled enough.
I think I'm starving. I think that's what. No, I mean, I guess it's just whatever feels right for you and what you want to do. I try to write. I have like some jokes that are kind of like that, that are like not like thought provoking necessarily, but are technically making a point. Right. But I did one thing I wouldn't want to do. I always want it to be funny. So that's like the number one.
Right.
Like, not that I think fun, not that I'm like funny's funny or whatever. Well, I guess I do believe funny is funny. Right. Even if somebody's going on stage and humping the stool, if they're getting laughs, they're doing it, I guess. Right. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to approach more like concepts and shit like that. It's just difficult, one, to work out at open mics because who gives a fuck? Nobody cares about your fucking thoughts you know what I mean? Right. So it's like trickier to work on material. Like I have some jokes that are somewhat kind of like in the vein of, it could be in the vein of like popular, I guess, I don't know, culture. I don't know I know, and you know what I'm trying to say, but like kind of like that, like maybe thought provoking or something, but it's hard to work them out.
That's a really great point, because if like at an open mic, it's going to be majoritively comics, but if you were like getting up at like places where it was just like random, the public, exactly. for lack of a better word, or civilians, you know,
bombing in an audience is like actually bombing, bombing in an open mic,
but then at least like that's the audience you would want to bounce it off of. Not
exactly.
Other comics don't want to hear your stance on that.
It's not even
political issues and shit like that.
Not even that you're necessarily having a stance, but even like. I mean, that one show we did together, even mentioning like something vaguely political was like, it wasn't even political. It was just like that, like LGBTQ joke. Shit got quiet really quick. And it's like, man, come on. What, like just mentioning it, fucking just saying the premise, like it's not even a premise yet. Like I didn't even get there.
Right.
And you're already like looking at me sideways. It's just like weird. So it's like hard to work on stuff that might be thought provoking, and I don't know. Yeah, it's an art to get to the point quick, or to like, you know, to actually make it digestible for anybody or whatever. Right. But yeah, I mean, that is something I would want to. Not necessarily. Not anything like Bill Hicks or anything like that, but there are some like jokes and topics that I have avoided. Because of that, because it's like and one part of it, and actually majority of it is like I don't have the funny yet, and if I can't get to the funny, there's no way I'm gonna make it work at this level. So we don't have that. It's probably it's easy to say this, but I would assume it's easier when you have a fan base, because you have that leverage, not leverage. Oh man, there's a word I'm thinking of. You
kind of have already won them over. I mean, you can still lose them, but they're there for you.
You have that like equity. You have equity in your fans, or even honestly, you can tell a difference between like really like if like an audience has a lot of comedy fans there. You can tell a difference between, it's like there's equity in comedy. They know what comedy is. So when you start saying something, they know it's a joke. Like there's gonna be a joke.
It's not a TED talk.
Exactly. Nobody's gonna go on and say some hate speech. Like it's not. They know what comedy is, and as long as you don't maybe start your set with something like that, you can.
That makes sense. I guess right now it's literally just be funny. Don't try to make a point. That kind of thing. Unless you
can get the joke. Because I have some jokes that technically make a point. Like if the one joke about like words or whatever. Like saying like homeless or unhoused or whatever. That's technically making the point of that, like maybe you should prioritize you're outraged more because you're not fixing any problems. You're just yelling at people for saying words wrong.
Right.
So like that is technically a point that I am attempting to make.
But it's joke forward. That's the point of it, is the joke rather than the equity is a really good way to put it.
Yeah, that's what I always I think I've said that before in here, and I think I've also forgotten that word. I almost want to write that down because it's like that's like you kind of like when you go on stage, even just like a 10-minute set, you're kind of building equity. You can't start with like, I mean, you have to start with something, and you got to build equity in your set.
Coincidentally, I posted it the other night or last night or the other night with is that my phone going off now?
Yep. Is your sugar low? Mario.
I need mushrooms. So what the hell was I just saying?
The other night you posted something.
Oh, every once in a while, like every time it comes up in my feed, I'll share the American Dream speech, and it's funny because it gets like 0 views, but I bet if I put up like a picture of my cat, it would get more than anything I've ever done. Like, but something that actually says something.
Yeah. It's a whole video. You're not going to make me watch the whole video.
Well, as far as like the equity, like Carlin did span that whole thing, like from the hippy dippy weatherman to peas to, but he was also doing the 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah,
also,
it was like you had. I guess there was.
That was pretty early, so I guess he was kind of doing it throughout, but. Like but
that's pretty digestible. Like, why do we not? Why can't we say these bad words? This is stupid. Too.
But like maybe that like the American Dream bit wouldn't hit as hard if he was younger. Like by then he's like older, wiser.
Maybe
he had that equity,
or if he was good enough to pull that off, perhaps also. Right. That's another thing I try not to like. I feel like I have like a few jokes. Not that they're not even jokes yet. They're just thoughts or whatever that I'm like. Like, I have one bit that I really want to do someday, but I don't think I'm there yet, and I also just don't. It's like it's just like it's not going to work doing these short sets, and you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work at a 10-minute. Like, I mean, again, the equity, it's like, and I feel like that joke about the words, I feel like that joke does, I've stopped, I don't even do that if I'm not doing at least probably 20 minutes. I probably only do it if I'm doing 20 minutes or more.
Okay.
Because it feels weird in like a 10-minute set to just start. I've done it and it's worked, but it just doesn't work as, I feel like it doesn't work as well unless I have more time for whatever reason.
That makes sense.
It might be a coincidence. It might just be like the crowd isn't feeling that joke as much. Right. I mean, it never necessarily bombs, but it doesn't do like great. It's done like the last time I did it, I can't remember where, but it did like really well. And I was like, oh, that's like one of the best that joke has done or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's hard telling.
Right. I would say another reason why I wanted to bring him up is like, cause I am older, in the scene. There's a lot of people younger who might listen to this and may have heard of Bill Hicks. Like I would suggest giving him like a deep dive. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure, I'm not saying I know about something nobody else knows about. I'm just saying younger people might not give it a second thought. Or might catch a clipper.
I mean, it's definitely dated.
It's definitely dated material.
Especially him. He was,
Right. I mean, he died in 93 or 94 or 95. Like, so yeah, like his material was like 80s, but there's value in that if you look at it within that context, and to see that a lot of it still holds up today.
Yeah.
The whole bit about the American flag is killer, perfectly still relevant today, if not more so. So I would suggest, not that I have authority to tell anybody anything, but I think it's worth a deep dive if you dig comedy, to see that kind of comedy too.
Well, it's also cool to see where it comes from, because that was like what people watched
right
before.
And also people think, oh, he's edgy because he used this word or that word. And like, I feel like some of that today is do it for shock.
It looks like, edgier because people don't talk like that it's not as prevalent to speak like that.
Right.
That's the only reason it looks edgy.
Right. But I would say at the time he was pushing those boundaries. He was, pushing that edge, but not in an edgelord way. It was just, it was his like natural act.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And he was also really cerebral about like the collective subconscious and consciousness and light and just really worth a deep dive. And he penned this letter, like he had cancer, so he knew he was going to die, and he penned this letter, and I just remember like the quote that he ends with, that if I was smart, I would have had it pulled up. I'll find it really quick. I just wanted to recommend that if you haven't already kind of dove in, I would suggest doing so.
I remember just hearing comics talk about him or whatever, and I definitely listened to. I think that is where it was on Netflix. I saw a couple of the specials that were on there.
I don't know if they're still on there. I'm sure they're still available. Maybe on there's his brother, I think, does a lot of his stuff and keeps his stuff going.
Oh yeah.
And there's a site like Bill Hicks Forever .org.
.org. It's an organization.
Yeah. So there's like quote of the week and that kind of thing. I'm sorry for people listening or watching.
But yeah, I think I think I remember. Yeah, and I do remember there being like some. I don't know if they were repeated material, but I know it was repeated like premises. But it might have been material if I can remember. It's been a while. I could listen to that. I wonder if I could find like the audio.
There it is. Sorry. But nice. he the quote is, "I left in love, in laughter, and in truth, and wherever truth, love, and laughter abide, I am there in spirit." And I don't know. I go back and forth with that kind of like spirituality, subconscious, collective unconscious, and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm going to stop rambling about it now. I feel like I've said enough.
Yeah, if you don't know Bill Hicks, check him out.
Yeah. way to trim the fat.
Really good. He's really good. Really thought-provoking. Yeah, because I remember I listened...
My fucking brain needs to go on keto and trim the fucking fat.
It doesn't help. I'm not any sharper right now. Can't wait to eat, dude. Did you know that fucking there's food everywhere? Like every goddamn commercial?
Yeah.
I saw a fucking... I was delivering mail today. I saw a fucking... what was it called? It was oh, what the hell? It was a DJ Cornbread. I'm like, fuck you. Everything I see is food. It's hell. It's
you got to do an open mic with pickle.
That's hilarious.
You know those commercials that were running this football season with Matthew McConaughey, where they were talking about that, like Jerry Rice and that kind of thing. I feel like they missed an obvious opportunity with Sauce Gardner.
Oh, that's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like right there. Maybe that's too obvious, but I don't know.
Well, Jerry Rice.
Right.
It's the most obvious. Those commercials were funny. Yeah, I guess we never even talked about the Super Bowl and stuff. Not that we need to. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of a boring. I'm waiting for Taylor Swift to dump Travis Kelce after that fucking performance.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Before I have to ramble about something else? So a few episodes ago, I ranted about the Girl Scout cookies.
Uh-huh.
And I've brought up a lot on this podcast, the Dave Chang podcast.
Yeah.
They talk about food, restaurant business, like the industry, cooking, recipes, like that kind of thing. And they brought up Girl Scout cookies because it's Girl Scout cookie season.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as they did, I was like, God damn it. I was like, at least we talked about it first.
Yeah.
And they were ranking them, and I had a funny joke for that, but That's what it was. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Now
say
you're
it.
regretting it.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably why I was like, maybe I shouldn't say that. But because I wasn't going to double down on it, because it is just Girl Scouts selling cookies. But I disliked the cookies so much that like I couldn't believe they were ranking them, and I was like, that's kind of like ranking like the tortures at Auschwitz. It's like none of it is good. Yeah. And the only people who liked it are terrible people. It's like not a good thing. Like no one should experience that.
No one should ever have to deal with this pain.
Right,
again.
Exactly.
Never again.
But I don't know. Maybe that's a little too much. Drawing a line between Girl Scout cookies and the Holocaust. But that's the kind of thing I was like, do I have to say something like that on stage, or do I bury it an hour into the podcast when no one's listening?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to, because it's like, yeah.
But I did crack the code on why people like these awful cookies.
Because they're made of chemicals and they fucking light up your brain.
No.
Kind of like the McDonald's I had that was fucking amazing. That was like tasted exactly like I remembered it, because it probably just it made all the connections in my brain that it's designed to make.
Right. But no, I cracked it, and it's nothing physical. It's all to do with shame. If you went into the grocery store and just bought 4 boxes of cookies, you would look like a fucking madman. Yeah. But if it's like a little innocent Girl Scout, like I'm trying to sell these so we can continue being like doing crafts or whatever the fuck Girl Scouts do. So buying them from a Girl Scout, it alleviates that shame that you would have at the grocery store. Like
you're doing a good thing.
Yeah. I'm helping
and
by
then they're
eating
here,
these
so
cookies.
I might as well eat all of them.
I've already
in one day.
You know what I mean? It would, if you'd almost be doing a disservice to the Girl Scouts if you don't eat them. like seriously, there's like shame. I mean, maybe for some people, you don't eat like trash anyway, unless you're about to fast.
No, I kind of eat like trash. That's why I do the 1 month off, because I'm like, I'm going hard when I'm not doing this. I'm actually thinking I need to like do keto like once a month for a week to not fucking have this build up, and then like I'm just like wanting Girl Scout cookies even though I don't like them. While we're talking about this, I'm like, I could fucking go for some.
Awesome.
Girl
So you don't
Scout
like them either? I thought you were team. Team
I'm
Girl Scout.
sort of not really. I mean, I'm kind of like I don't need to have them ever again.
Right.
Like
right.
Man, I'm thinking about Chips Ahoy right now. the chewy ones.
But
I can't. I'm so glad I get to eat tomorrow.
Yeah,
I knew doing this podcast was a bad idea.
Yeah, I was gonna make a pan of the moussaka for you. But
I know
it has
sucks.
Potatoes, a little red wine.
I know, and we're gonna have corned beef and cabbage for fucking whatever St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, damn, we're not gonna be able to have potatoes in the corned beef. This sucks. It's gonna be the shittiest corned beef. I have to get like radishes or something.
Right.
If I can put mustard on some vegetable that doesn't make sense to try to just pretend it's potatoes.
Right. I know somebody out there identifies with this shame. Like if you get cookies at the grocery store, you hide them like under the vegetables in your cart.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I think that's the code. I think that's why. Somebody can prove me wrong, but I think that's the only reason people buy Girl Scout cookies is because it's a way to buy cookies without the shame and feel like you're doing a good thing.
I do. Yeah, I never like got them. I'm literally fine. I do think I like the samosas, but I'm also not always in the mood for coconut.
No.
So it's not something. It's one of those once a year things. That's probably.
I'm never really in the mood for coconut.
Yeah, I like it sometimes.
I get excited for it.
I had something recently that coconut. I think it was some kind of cookie that was fucking delicious. God damn it! I really hoping we weren't going to talk about food. Fucking killing me.
I can send you home with some of that moussaka. I still got plenty left in the pan.
I'll have you make it for me next time. I'm sure it won't be that long before you want to make it.
This is actually the first time I ever made it non-vegan. Because Kate's,
that's right. I remember you telling me about it. Yeah.
Kate's sister and husband are vegan, so like I've made it once a long time ago for them, and then she was up a few months ago, and I made it again. But this is my first time actually making it. You can do like beef or lamb, or sometimes a mixture of. I just beef because the wife isn't a fan of lamb, so It's a ground beef, but
Why does she have a heart? She's going to eat the babies.
I don't know why let them have a full life and then just to kill, you know what I mean? Like, because life is so great, like we should let them have more of it. We're fucking doing them a favor. Jesus Christ.
Depends on what farm. When I have a farm, they're going to be treated very well. dying again. Stupid. I'm going to have to take this thing off. There's no way I'm getting woken up. It's not like it's not doing what it needs to do. That's so annoying because I wanted it back on. I wanted to keep it on for eating.
And you can't even like just silence it now like an alarm?
Nope.
Like, that's wild.
Nope. Yeah. And it's been going off. But yeah, I am going to have to take it off. That sucks. I have 4 days left. We're going to have to write the people and like get a refund or whatever because that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be some way to...
Yeah, no, even if you have Do Not Disturb on your phone, literally turning off your phone would be the only way. And that's what I use as an alarm, so that's not going to work.
Right.
That's what I use for my fucking... Yeah, I'm going to have to take it off because I can't. I'm not trying to get woken up at 2. If it even makes it that long. We've been here for an hour and it's gone off twice, so that's not going to... Yeah. Yeah, and it sucks because I wanted it... It doesn't matter. When I took... Lori was wearing this is funny because Lori was like... She's like, I fucking hate you because she has like trouble with her sugar, and I like literally the first day I put it on, I ate pizza and beer, and it didn't even really spike much. And she's like, I hate you so much. This sucks. And like the worst thing that made my sugar spike the most was cereal because it's like carbs and doesn't have any protein. Right. But I bet if I ate like a piece of like protein, like beef or like a breakfast sausage with, it would probably like not spike. And I did actually Lori told me to put like heavy cream with the milk, and that did stop it from spiking as much because there's fat in the heavy cream. Okay. Yeah. But honestly, I don't really need it on.
Right.
I just never knew what my sugar was doing this whole time. You know what I mean? Right. You don't know because you don't test it. Unless you want to finger prick fucking all day, which sucks.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do, sir. We're going to say that for the Patreon.
There's an episode title, Finger Prick.
I think it might be.
Yeah. But, yeah, I wanted it on for when I started eating again, just out of curiosity to see what it would do. But honestly... eating like shit barely. I mean, I'm doing fine, so nice. It's good to know because I'm like I know that I don't have because I don't know, maybe I should be staying away from certain shit.
Right.
Basically, the only thing I should stay away from is cereal by itself. But even then, I'll just fucking do it anyway.
I don't know. Maybe not knowing is good.
It could be good because it would be. I would be speaking differently if it was horrible, and I'm like, oh, I have to fucking stop eating this, and this.
Well, I remember. I don't remember if it was Tiny Toons or Animaniacs, but it was one of those like afternoon, after school like cartoon shows.
Yeah.
But like some of them, like a group of these like. Kids, I guess, for lack of a better word, or like the Tiny Toons were like the younger version of Looney Tunes and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're
vaguely,
remember those or if that was before your time or whatever. But anyway, a bunch of them like run off a cliff or something. I don't remember the exact scenario, but they run off a cliff and only some of them fell. And the ones who fell, they had learned about gravity. The ones who didn't fall, it's like, oh well, we haven't learned about gravity yet. So they didn't fall off the cliff.
Funny. Yeah,
so I wonder if it's kind of the same thing. Like if I just don't know my blood sugar, it's perfect. Maybe it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It's probably fine. What's it called? I did see this. It's funny you brought that up, Animaniacs, because they older cartoons were actually kind of like smart.
Oh yeah.
Like there's
Animaniacs was awesome.
I never even watched Animaniacs.
I think they just started
showing them,
putting them on. I don't know if they might have started doing new ones too.
Oh shit!
But they definitely put the old ones on.
Yeah. I just saw this online. It was Animaniacs. It was just a clip of one of the episodes, and they're in like a supermarket and they're grabbing all of this like food and like sugar and stuff, and it's like they're literally talking about what happened to like the food. like the food in America.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's like this is fucking like the 80s or something.
90s,
this is
90s.
Oh, was it? Okay, so yeah, it was like literally, and it's funny. You should look it up. It's hilarious because it's like they're literally saying what it's like. Where the fuck were you in the regular for the adults that needed that message? The kids didn't even. They just thought it was a fun song or whatever, a clip about fucking. But it was like literally about processed food and like sugars and stuff. It's like, this is crazy.
Again, art and entertainment. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And it's like, man, you should have made an adult version of this and maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Right. One of the funniest things I ever remember from Animaniacs, so they would have the ones with the Animaniacs, but then they would do like segments with like different characters and that kind of thing, like most cartoon shows.
Yeah.
There was one, I think it was Slappy Squirrel. She was just like this old, like crotchety squirrel, and then she had her little, I think nephew, who would run around like very active and silly and like inquisitive and that kind of thing. And they did this whole thing about Woodstock that was like, was it Abbott and Costello who did the Who's on First?
I think.
Do you know of that whole like Who's on First? What's on second? I know this is way before your time, but it's so classic. You had to have heard of it.
I mean, I've heard. I know what you're talking about, but
it's this bit where these two guys are going back and forth, and they're describing.
It's just so
your
ridiculous.
pizza alarm's going off.
My pizza alarm, yeah.
Yeah, maybe just turn the phone on. We probably don't have too much longer. So.
No, I'm just going to turn my... Oh, you got to fucking the new phones. You can't turn it off just by holding the power button anymore.
Oh, nice.
I guess that's a good thing. You're probably right. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
So the Abbott and Costello bit was like... one guy's describing this baseball team to another, and all the names of the players are like who, what, when, where. Like, so like what's on second? No, who's on second base and who's on. So they did this whole thing on Animaniacs with Woodstock, and she was asking the questions, and he was answering, and it was so damn funny. I'll show it to you after the podcast if anybody wants to look it up. It's so good because it was like. What's the band on stage? Who? And she's like, that's what I'm asking. Who's the band on stage? Yes. And she's like, Yes is the name of the band? She's like, no, Yes isn't even at this concert. It's Who. It's like,
that's
the band.
So funny.
No, the band is the band is later. The Who is on stage. And it goes on forever. It is so hilarious. I'm not doing it justice.
There's actually that's funny that they do that like homage to like something like that. They do what in an episode of How I Met Your Mother. They're looking for a club to go to, and they're like getting a little bit older, and they're like with like Barney's dad, and he's older, and they're like, we should go to a club, right? He's like, all right, what about they do the whole thing. It's exactly like that. They're like, fucking I can't even think of a single but yeah, it's the exact same thing where they're like, well, we can go to like well, no, that yes closed.
Right.
Like what they like closed, and like closed is one of the names. Yeah, it's like a whole. Yeah, that's funny because I never knew where that was.
It was just so perfect because like there's the Who, there's Yes, the band.
It's funny because I feel like I've only heard people reference Who's on first.
Well, that's kind of like the name of the bit. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that's why I've heard that.
It starts there.
Okay.
It's like Who's on first? Yes. Like
oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
So,
no, Yes isn't even here.
Yes isn't even at this concert.
That's really
good. So I'll bring up one last thing. Unless, do you have anything else?
Nope.
I just thought this was interesting. So I don't know, trying to improve my mind or something, or fill the void in my soul. I picked up this book on Japanese, like just learning quick like Japanese phrases and that kind of thing. But unrelated but semi-related. I came across in my feed. How the fuck do I lose these?
God, you're worse at technology than I am.
I know. This is terrible podcasting. I'm always like looking through my fucking phone. But in Japan, there's something called johatsu.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it sounds right to me. It refers to people who disappear due to pressures like failed marriages, debt, and job loss.
Jeez.
They abandon their lives and live anonymously off the grid. Specialized companies called night movers assist them vanishing completely.
Really?
It sounds wild. And the numbers was kind of wild.
Of people that do it?
Of people that do it.
Do you know how much it cost?
I do not. Believe it or not, I haven't looked into it. Shh. It's supposed to be secret. It can actually be seen all over the world, such as U.S., China, South Korea, United Kingdom, and Germany. According to the Wikipedia. So let's see. It started being used in the 60s, that term. And at the time it was used in the context of people deciding to escape unhappy marriages rather than endure formal divorce proceedings. And I mean, according to fucking Dateline, now it's just murder.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'd never understood why murder is easier than divorce. Like, that's wild.
Insurance checks.
Right.
Alimony. There's reasons.
But yeah, in Japan, when like the culture started being really shame oriented, with like even if you like failed an exam or quit a job or lost a job or something like that, or debt, like there's such that shame that they have a pretty high suicide rate. But then the other option is this, and apparently the topic is taboo in regular conversation, kind of like the topic of suicide.
Okay.
According to this, but this was these numbers are what was crazy. It's been estimated that 100,000 Japanese people disappear annually. However, Johatsu may be underreported in the official numbers. In 2015, Japan's National Police Agency had registered 82,000 missing persons. 80,000 were found by the end of the year. So, like, tens of thousands of people just, like, disappear.
Yeah, that's
for
wild.
Like, divorce, gambling debts, like, failing a job or whatever. But yeah, that's just. I
mean, how big
wild.
is Japan that they can disappear? Do they leave Japan?
Maybe. I mean, I guess we don't know. I mean, they could just go to a different part of Japan or maybe to a different country. I don't know. You'd have to contact one of these companies and see.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's.
People become Johatsu for a number of reasons, including depression, addiction, sexual impropriety, and desire for isolation. Sometimes it's used to escape domestic violence, gambling debt, religious cults, stalkers, employers, and difficult family
I guess that's good stuff.
Situations. Yeah, this is where it said the shame of job loss, divorce, and even failing an exam can also motivate people to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. How big is Japan? Like, compared to the United States? How big is Japan? Is Japan like the size
like population
of the
wise?
No, I just mean like physical. Is it like the size of the East Coast? Or is it even smaller?
No, it might be about that.
Mm-hmm. Like the size of like, I don't know, like Texas, Pennsylvania, and New York, and you know what I mean? Just because I'm curious how you could disappear if somebody, I mean, maybe they don't try to find them.
Japan is about 26 times smaller than the United States.
Okay. Well, that's
so yeah. It kind of you're almost exactly right.
That's
it
funny.
Almost looks like the East Coast.
Yeah, that's kind of what I pictured.
It almost looks like the same shape.
Yeah,
like you could literally plop it on the East Coast. But yeah, it's 26 times smaller. Yeah,
it's rough. It's rough to. Sorry, I tried to nod and yawn.
But yeah, I just really love like Japanese like culture. I do too. Like with sushi, I love the simplicity, but how hard it is to get something that simple right.
Yeah,
you can do
and
it.
How good it is for being that simple.
You can, right. But it's really easy to fuck it up.
Yeah, I hate you right now.
You think I didn't do that on purpose? But it's like it's so good and so simple. Like, you know what I mean? Just like you can take it. Sushi literally means rice.
Yeah.
And it's the preparation of the rice, not necessarily the fish. So like just a little rice ball could be considered sushi, but prepared the right way is divine. But it's easy to fuck that up.
Yeah.
There's a reason why like the giant sushi doesn't. It's like good enough. It's like the McDonald's version of a burger versus like a really good burger place.
I would. There has to be a better example. I know what you mean, but like
it's
fucking McDonald's is so good. It's so bad, but it's so like it's like a different.
But if you
thing.
want McDonald's, you specifically want that flavor.
Exactly.
If you want a really good burger,
it's not that.
You're gonna. But do something. You know what I mean?
Like giant sushi is not good enough to be considered McDonald's burger. There's probably a better.
It's like based on a true story. Version where if you wanted something to like scratch that itch, sure, but for me, anytime I've gotten it, it's like I just want regular real sushi now.
Like if you want like a good burger, I feel like McDonald's is not a replacement.
Right.
Giant sushi is like it is a replacement for like good sushi. It's just not near. It's not even like. Because every once in a while, Lori will like say something like, we'll be at like Sam's or Giant or something. She's like, will you get some stuff? I'm like, I don't fucking want anything to do with that. I'd rather pay quadruple the amount of money for real.
But honestly, the Giant isn't that much cheaper. I think they do like a $5 on Wednesdays or something, but it's only specific rolls. But other than that, it's not much cheaper per roll when you think about it.
Yeah, I never like pay it.
And especially for the quality.
Yeah, I never pay attention to the price because I never just get one roll. So it's like I know what my bill normally is at a sushi restaurant, and I know, but if I'm a Giant, I bought like other stuff. So I never actually paid attention to the price of just the sushi.
Right.
Yeah.
And you like the special rolls, which are typically more expensive.
That's true too, yeah.
Just because there's more ingredients.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I could save money by being more authentic.
There's nothing wrong with those, and I like some of them, and occasionally I do. They most of the time make them spicy, and a lot of the time, most of the special, not all, but most of the will have like the spicy mayo, which I'm not a huge fan of. That's another rant for another podcast because spicy food is cap. Typically, also,
we do a whole podcast about you just being a bitch. Is that what we're gonna do?
All right,
I will say super spicy food is cap. I agree with.
Yeah. Let's save it. Let's save it.
I can't. I don't have the stomach for this right now.
Let's save it because there's not enough time for me to tell you how wrong you are.
Okay. This will be good.
But
make sure you remember this.
Another thing with the special rolls, not to ruin it for you, is that it's the more quality fish they're going to use for sashimi and the nigiri, where they just lay the fish, or even within a roll. There's a lot of there's a reason why the spicy tuna roll is spicy, and a lot of time it's like minced. They'll take just like any animal. The fish has a lot of different cuts, and they'll use like the premium cuts for like the premium sushi,
sashimi, and then
they'll use the other cuts. So it's not like you're getting like the rotten sushi, but it's like.
That's fair though. Why would you waste?
Quality.
You wouldn't waste the good. You know what I mean?
Right. Or like if you have product that's going to go bad, it's a way to use it. Let's put it in a spicy tuna roll so it gets sold because people eat them. You know what I mean? But it'll get sold, and you don't have to use the more expensive cuts. So it's not to ruin it for you because it's not like it's not bad, but it is. I prefer that the just like the nigiri.
I got to get more of that. I got to do more of that. Some stuff.
Let's go get sushi when you're not keto
Absolutely.
anymore.
We will do that.
Tomorrow we're both gonna call out and go to the sushi.
I'm gonna quit.
Wouldn't be the first person this week. You got anything else?
No, I gotta go home and make sure I'm not dying. Apparently. I'm pretty sure my phone's full of shit.
Well, all right.
I might have to go home and. Oh no! I might have to go home and eat carbs. Or it wouldn't be carbs. It would just be food.
There is a McDonald's on your way home.
I'm not gonna do that now. That's too crazy. I've already gotten I'm almost a week into eating right. Well, I'm not eating at all, but I'm almost a week into this process. I'm not gonna fucking.
Right. Can I get 40 cheeseburgers? Hold the buns.
I'd probably die. My stomach would explode if I ate 2 cheeseburgers. That's probably too much.
Well, all right, folks. You got anything else?
Nope.
See you next Thursday.
Take it easy.